Let's talk oil. It is like crowdfunding meets the oil sector. It's called Crudefunders. Tim Snyder, he's with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
You guys were on back last year. You guys were just kind of getting this off the ground.
Right. This project has been going probably about 2 years, maybe. We're in our second year on what we're doing, and just went national and international in our scope.
Nice. It is oil investing redefined.
Absolutely. A really great opportunity for the average investor to get involved in the next great frontier.
Okay. Take me through it. Take me through the process on this. How does someone get involved? And a little guy like me, I can own a piece of oil out there in West Texas.
You're absolutely correct. You know, that we look at a couple of things. First of all, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you, go to www.crudefunders.com, one word, and it'll begin to walk you through the tutorial. But if you're interested in the energy needs that we have here in the United States and what's going on, this is a perfectly good opportunity for us as average investors, not just the accredited investors, though there are spots for them as well, to get involved in oil and gas exploration and production. And that's really a really neat thing. It starts in West Texas with the Permian Basin and the Eagle Ford Shale. Those are the first areas that will probably have production beginning moving forward, and then we'll just expand from there.
Okay. Your background.
I'm an energy economist.
There you go. So you've been tracking oil and oil and gas for years. And we talked about this in the lobby, how we bounced down from a low of 26 back in February.
Right, that's correct.
Cracked over the 50.
Yep.
Now we're sliding back in, what, 42?
$42 and some change because it's
61.
Kind of rolling.
Okay,
yeah,
there you go.
Around there. Yep.
Where are we going from here?
This has been an unusual last 18 months when we hit the high. We back in 2014, July of 2014, we're trading $113.71, $113, $114, and we were increasing the number of rigs that we had that were producing around the country. Things started to slip, and we dropped all the way down, and like you said, in February, the $26.55 a barrel.
The barrel actually costs more than oil.
Yeah, it just about did.
There was a funny stat about that, how the actual barrel itself.
It really did. If we used them very much anymore, that wouldn't be one thing. But, yeah, it was just kind of a crazy figure. But, we see it turn back around, and it's come back. I mean, we're back up. We've doubled the price almost, and then we came back off of that. We were back up to 51, 52. We backed off. We're at 42.63 right now. As I look at the marketplace, it does two things. The energy complex is very resilient from the standpoint of when you have prices decline and you have this contraction in that industry, that particular industry, top to bottom. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them goes into innovation mode. And so they change the way they do things. We have taken the hydraulic fracturing technology and made it so much more productive. We've looked at the sands, at the shale plays. We've made them more productive. We reduced the decline rate that we had in shale plays. So it's been a very good time for production improvements in the industry, and so it's made a big difference for where we are.
So when you go to crudefunders.com, you click on Start a Project, and it says Start a Project. But what does that do? Does that give you options of some of the things that you guys have out in West Texas?
Yeah, well, and they're not just in West Texas. I mean, we're going to be in the Eagle Ford and the Permian Basin first. We're looking at we're vetting projects right now as we speak, and we're going to bring the projects along that have the greatest opportunity for us and for our folks that invest in it. And when you invest in Crudefunders, you're investing in a particular project. You're not investing in a fund. You're investing in a specific project. So that gives you a little bit of ownership, and you feel like taking a field trip. But it's just one of those things.
Well, one of the questions: are you ready to become an oil man?
Yeah,
I like that. How do I know if I'm ready to become an oil man? What are you guys looking for in an investor?
Well, what we're looking for in an investor is somebody that has this financial ability to make $1,000 investment in this project.
So it's as little as $1,000.
Yeah, for as little as $1,000, you can get involved in this thing, and we'll help you go through the process. We've got folks that will call you on the phone and help you get through all the there's some paperwork that's going to be involved in doing this sort of thing, because it is a crowdfunding opportunity. There are some regulations and some things that we have to look at, but we'll follow through that whole process. The process itself will vet you between being an accredited investor, somebody who has a large net worth and high income, versus somebody who's like you and me, just an average old Joe on the radio.
Is it? Yeah, that's me. Is it more than just a crowdfunding? In other words, if you don't meet the goal, does the project not take off? Is that kind of...
No, that's we our goal in this is to make sure that we vet projects that are, we get the investor involved when we're ready to make the commitment. Okay. We don't get the investor involved in a wildcat, off in the middle of nowhere. Hey, let's go drill a hole in the ground, kind of thing, because that just doesn't pay, and that's not what we expect when we look for somebody that's going to take good care of us. So we're all due care and due diligence is going to be involved in this, and it's a very highly technical situation. But when you go to the website and you want to be involved, you want to invest, you go through a couple of steps on the website, and then you'll be called by one of our sales folks, and they'll walk you through the whole process and help you understand how things are going to go, and then you'll get access to the information as we go through, as we're vetting projects and those kinds of things. We were
talking before the show, and this is kind of like the next generation of like oil tycoons,
right?
Maybe I'm dreaming a little bit, but it's different. It's technology meeting.
It's technology meeting the needs of the new millennium. That's what it is. Back when I was,
is there a millennial behind this company? They're somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm looking for them.
We have, the two guys that actually there's three guys that are involved under the principles of this, but those three guys have done such a tremendous job. David Taylor, Alan Fine, and Bill Wimberly. Those three guys have just busted their tails, and they have the number one portal person in the entire world developing this portal for us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's I'm an old guy. I'm one of those guys that I was a broker back in the early '80s, and back in those days,
what was oil back then? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember. It was $8, $9, $10, $12
$12 a barrel.
Yeah, that's back. I remember the first day we popped a cork on champagne. The first day that we traded 100 million shares on the Dow. The Dow was trading at like about 900. So things have really changed, and equity has changed in this world, and the way that we invest has changed in the world.
And this is clearly a new way.
Absolutely.
Crudefunders.com is the website. Go to it. I'm on it right now. It's got a nice little slick video that's playing in the background. But it is oil investing refined. It's just a different way of doing it. Now, what's some of the feedback you've gotten from your colleagues or people in the industry that said, "Hey, this is pretty cool"?
I'm one of the I'm on their board of advisors, and there's several of the advisors that are on there that are very highly skilled. We have a mergers and acquisitions guy that is the best that you can have. I think you might have had him on your show. Baron Lucas, great guy. We've got the most incredible reservoir engineer. He is a true oil geologist and engineer, and I'm telling you what, that guy can vet a project. I sit and listen to him. He's the most fascinating person I've ever absolutely sat and talked to in my life. He's just a great guy. We've got finance people that are involved on a very high level that can really help us help the guys get their project going. So we're really excited about where that is.
And you got a race car too. I don't know where you guys are at.
Motorhome,
Is that in Austin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it sure was.
Good way to get people's attention. Well, you got the marketing stuff. It is about marketing.
Well, it is. Of course it is. And people do that online. People are used to doing this stuff online. As we have our board meetings, we have discussions about, being able to make sure we can do that even on our cell phones. And that's something that, we understand. The world lives on it. I'm watching these beautiful women over here that are going to talk about Alzheimer's here in just a little bit and their game that's coming up. But, the first thing that you do is you notice everybody's working on their cell phone.
You can hear them typing away.
Oh, yeah. They're working hard.
You know what? And that's our world now.
Absolutely.
That's our world now. And it's the way it is. Yeah, we will get to the 9th annual BVB. Can't wait to talk about that. Woo-hoo. Very interesting.
You bet.
So, when's your official launch day? We talked before the show, and you said like within a week.
Coming up,
is that right?
You can call. You can get involved right now if you want to. Just www.
Let me go ahead and give you my ATM card real quick.
Yeah, that's
going over there.
Yeah, let's just do it. Gonna have it. Let's go to work. But they can get on the website and see where we're going. Once the project is announced, you'll see it on the website. And for those people that have committed and have gotten into our pool of potential investors, we'll begin calling. The folks will begin calling them and working through the process.
And I know you can't tell me this because it's all speculation, kind of.
Right.
But out of an investment, what type of return do you typically can expect? I mean, I know it's completely like voodoo.
It is voodoo.
I know,
it is,
but
and you have to understand
in timeline, like
we
when?
are highly regulated by the Fed, not the Fed, but the federal government and the SEC, and we have to be careful what we say because you can invest in something like this, and if you put $1,000 in, you could lose your $1,000 if they just everything goes bust and crude oil goes to $1 a barrel. There is that risk. It's always that risk, but it's also that risk in any sort of financial situation as well. We look at the fact that we highly vet these projects, and so I think it's important that if you're considering becoming the next great oil tycoon,
of course you're sitting right here.
Absolutely, and this is Dallas. Come on, let's be serious about this.
I'm calling McKinney. I live in McKinney.
Yeah,
I'm a McKinney oil tycoon.
I'm a Rockwall oil tycoon.
Are you?
So there you go. On the lake and loving the life.
Well, see but that's what this website does.
Exactly.
It puts that and
it puts us all, we all wear a different hat, and that's exactly what it
Very
does.
cool. Crudefunders.com is a website. Go check it out. We'll have Tim Snyder. He's going to stick around for a little bit more, and we'll talk about this, but a little bit more. Let's take a look at the markets. Oil, which we'll get to in just a second, up 2%. What do you think about that?
Yeah. There's a story out that OPEC's talking about trying to limit production again, so it's going to spike the oil. It's the same old story. It's nothing new, but all I got to do is say it.
Yeah,
there we go.
Don't you? I remember back in the day, we used to watch Alan Greenspan's briefcase on the Fed meetings, whether or not he was going to raise the rate, and how heavy his case looked was determined if he was going to raise or lower or keep the rates unchanged. That's how bored I was back in the late 90s. Really, sitting at my desk watching this.
He was a brilliant man. He was a non-Keynesian economist, and I agree. He was probably the best Fed chairman we've ever had. What we have right now is a disaster.
Well, we could do a whole show on what's a disaster in the White House now.
Yes, we could.
We could. All right, so we got oil. If you're flying today, Delta Airlines says, I'm sorry. That's actually what they said. We're sorry through a tweet. They didn't officially come out yet. Due to what they call, Michael, a large-scale power outage.
That's a power outage.
Yeah,
huh?
it's a power outage.
Interesting.
To their computer system.
Uh-huh.
And so, of course, planes that are en route obviously are okay.
You would think a company this large would have a backup computer system that they could just switch over to in case of a power outage.
Yeah, you would think so.
So, I'm thinking hack.
Yeah, you're going with the hack
Absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you might be right when it's all said and done. Maybe WikiLeaks can come out with some information that says, you know what? You guys were hacked.
The Russians did it.
The Russians did it.
Yeah.
I tell you, the Iranian, the spy that got executed yesterday.
Yeah.
That kind of goes back to the some of the emails.
He was a nuclear engineer.
Yeah.
He was their
and his name was in Hillary Clinton's email several times talking about him.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that's
but it wasn't top secret, huh?
I don't know.
None of it was.
Yeah, so what?
Yeah, so what?
Those emails never got sent.
Yeah. Well, it's a short circuit. Come on.
Yeah. Let's talk about oil. Let's get into Crudefunders. Sure. It's the next generation of becoming an oil tycoon.
Hey, oil's up this morning. It's time to invest.
I told you in the break.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
I'm ready. If you missed this in the 7 o'clock hour, let's give our listeners an idea of what Crudefunders is all about.
Sure. Crudefunders is the nation's first crowd-funded crude oil investment for exploration production. It's a tremendous new idea for the folks that are into the internet and looking at financial alternatives. And right now, I'm just scared to death to put my money in the stock market because of what could possibly happen there. We're dealing with a bubble in the stock market right now. I look at banks and I look at CDs, and you don't make any money. You make no interest on anything.
Make nothing.
Right. There's been a contraction in commodity prices. We see crude oil prices down at the middle or towards the lows of where they've been. It gives us a great opportunity to look at the next great frontier.
Okay, walk me back a little bit on how this. Did you guys clearly saw like an opportunity to kind of change the way that the industry was?
Yeah, David Taylor, Alan Fine, and Bill Wimberly actually David and Alan were visiting about the opportunities for doing a crowdfunding project, and they noticed that with oil and gas, as oil began to drop, and we started watching it, and timing is great for doing an investment in those kinds of things, and so they got involved in this, brought Bill Wimberly in, and they started looking at the opportunities for investing in oil and gas and the production side of things, and using a non-traditional type of investment tool, and that's what crowdfunding is.
That's what it is. Okay, when you go to crudefunders.com, you'll see the tabs. Now, when you click on like start a project, tell me about that.
What it does is it talks about, if you're in there's a lot of different tabs to be looking at, but start a project is if you've got production, if you're a company out there and you've got some production or a field and you've got geology and you've got all the notes that you need to have and you've done the lease searches and all those things, you bring it to our company and we'll vet that process for you and we'll give it an opportunity to look and see if it's something that we might invest in one of our future programs. You can, if you want to be an investor, there's an investor tab that gives you the opportunity to go in and get signed up, give all the information, and get ready. Once we have a project ready to invest, you'll be contacted and you'll see on the website it'll give you a little website and it'll prompt you when that's ready to go. That'll happen. That's becoming very soon. I can't tell you exactly when that's going to be, but I can tell you it within 30 days is a big deal, and we're vetting several projects right now. So that's just great opportunities to look at that.
And the minimum investment
$1,000.
$1,000.
Yes, sir.
Well, we were talking a little bit in the break. Can you imagine back in the 80s and 90s being able to do something like this?
Yeah, let me tell you, I was a broker back in those days. Worked for Dean Witter, and we sold those things in limited partnerships. Mm-hmm. And the rate of return, some of them were okay, some of them weren't. And a lot of times, people were selling these investments, these offline sorts of things, and they were doing these buddy deals and all that kind of stuff where there's no control. This is managed by the SEC. Looks at it and is very specific that we follow certain rules, and those are a lot of things that you can say and things that you can't.
Yeah. What parts of the country are you starting out with?
We're in Texas.
Okay.
We're starting off in Texas. We started off in Texas. Right now, if you watch the oil price, the opportunities are greater right now in Texas. So we're in the Permian Basin and the Eagle Ford. The South Texas moving towards the Houston area. Those are the two areas that we're going to focus on right now, and it's going to be primarily crude oil that we're looking at. Although I will tell you that natural gas is going to be something that's I think going to be coming back online here pretty quick, and maybe some renewed interest in that as well. But right now we're focusing on crude oil. We'll be moving there, and then as the markets begin to develop themselves again, we'll move back into some of the other areas, the Dakotas, Pennsylvania, Ohio, those kinds of things. What's
some of the feedback you've gotten within the industry?
It's kind of funny.
Like you got some guys that work in the old school of doing things.
Yeah, the oil industry is very protective of itself.
Sure.
And the old guys don't like the new guys and all that stuff.
It's kind of like real estate agents. People that are like the new, we had a guy on the show last week. Well, it's a different way of selling real estate. Well, he's butting heads with people that have been doing this for 40 years. Like, hey, that's not how we do it. And he's like, well, that's how we do it now.
Here's the best part about this is being a funding platform. The best opportunities for us are to be able to provide funding for an established, company that's been out there for a while. And so the old guard is kind of backing off of their, I don't know about this idea. And they're saying, well, this is a viable alternative. This is a legitimate opportunity. And that's a really good thing for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see it.
Yes,
the website, Crudefunders.
www.crudefunders.com.
And $1,000 minimum investment. Get a piece of oil.
Yeah,
it could be like the Beverly Hillbillies.
Hey, absolutely. Black Gold,
really,
Texas tea. Yes, absolutely. That's what we're doing.
I do that well.
Yeah,
too well.
We'll get Granny to come out and say howdy. Yeah. Make some possum shanks and squirrel stew.
It's kind of it's kind of like I'm seeing the birth of a company because, like I said, last year,
what it is.
Last fall, you guys were on the show and you were just kind of getting this thing off the ground, and now you're within weeks, of doing
weeks
your first
days.
Yeah, weeks/days of kind of getting this first off the ground. So how many people, I mean, I don't know, maybe you can't give me this information. Like how many people so far have said, show me the money, I'm in?
I can't give you that information.
Okay.
But
if we beat it out of you,
it's substantial.
Can I waterboard you here?
It is going to, yes, please do. I'll just put my head in a sock. I don't care. But the fact is, we've had some tremendous opportunities. Every time we have a chance to be on a show like your guys' show, or we do a radio, and I've been on the radio.
You've got a show, right?
I have my own radio show. I've been doing it for 12 years, and it's actually in the Buddy Holly studio in Lubbock, Texas.
Oh, nice.
That we've been out there doing that for years and years. But I've been on everything from Connecticut and Massachusetts to California and Oregon and all places in between. Every time we get on the air and have a chance to talk about this thing, people get on the website and we'll have 10 or 12 or 14 people not invest but commit to invest when we have a project
and inquire about services and more
this
information.
Has been going on for a while, so we've got a great base right now to start.
I think the time is now.
Yes, sir. Completely.
I love it, and like you said, oil is
42.54.
It's going to rally. I don't think
slowly,
which is what we want
because it's good for the consumer.
Absolutely, kind of walks us up in baby steps.
You bet.
And of course, you go. There's risk involved in everything. It's full disclosure on that.
Right. Yep.
It's not
Absolutely.
like this is bulletproof. If it
Absolutely.
was, I'd be all. Well, I told you, I'm going to commit to something.
And the fact of the matter is we want to be fair and safe with we're going to be very protective of our investor.
Sure.
And that's a good thing.
There's a good thing. All right, the website, crudefunders.com. Go to it, check it out, and let us know update us.
I will do that.